to liaise to the educators to avert a looming nationwide strike.
The teaching fraternity make huge sacrifices and a huge contribution to make sure these events are held. To all our teachers, trainers, and artists in that space, my congratulations for doing a wonderful job. I remember last year I made a commitment that we are going to identify teachers in this co-curriculum space and promote them for what they are doing. I am happy that the directive I gave to the Ministry of Education has been implemented, and 407 teachers who are in the co-curriculum space were promoted last year. I also want to say that we will continue to recognize teachers who are operating in this space and also give them national awards. Last year, I gave 17 teachers in the co-curriculum space national awards, recognizing their contribution to the progress of our nation. We will continue to identify, we will continue to work with you to make sure that we continuously promote this space.
At the same time, the President and his Deputy Rigathi Gachagua have called for concerted efforts in engaging civic education with the public over the new university funding model. The head of state reiterated his administration's commitment to increasing budgetary support to the institutions. The head of state says under the model, learners from vulnerable and extremely needy families have equal opportunities at accessing university education. Needy students will receive government scholarships of up to 53% and loans of up to 40%.
I've now concluded sending letters for the new students who are who had earlier been sent letters that did not have sufficient clarity. That in the next 2 days we will conclude that process so that every parent knows what it is that they need to contribute, as the government shoulders the bigger part of our university education and TVET education. Between 90% and 60% is taken care of by the government of Kenya. So depending on the different categories of parents, you either contribute 10% or 20% or 30% at most.
We've done a lot. We've got good stories. Sometimes we don't tell the story, and when we tell those stories, we don't tell them well. Let us invest on how to tell the story. The university financing model is a masterpiece. It's such an intervention in our education system on how we finance it. But that story has not been told, and where it has been told, it has not been told well. Let us tell that story appropriately so that the beneficiaries can know that we have got a good financing model.
Your Excellency, I wish to thank you for your continued support towards university education, especially, Your Excellency, in the implementation of the student-centered university funding model that is currently in its second year. I wish to confirm that we have implemented your directive that all universities release the new fee structure letters stipulating only the household contribution towards the total cost of the degree programs. Over 125,000 students have so far applied, and out of these, 100,080 specific letters have been issued to the students as of this afternoon.
The G7, a caucus of 7 elected women governors, convened at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos County today, attracting around 10,000 aspiring female leaders to continue their campaign to empower and mentor more women into leadership roles. The governors, who aim to expand from G7 to G24, pledged to leverage their platforms to create an environment where future women leaders can thrive. They plan to address challenges by creating comprehensive mentorship programs for women.
Have gradually moved from promise to implementation. My philosophy of chakula mezani, pesa mfukoni, leumesane, pesa mubukoni, which is anchored on the 3 pillars: food security, socio-economic empowerment, infrastructure, holistically encompasses the priority needs of the Machakos County residents. And to advocate more effectively for increased political representation, the Council of Governors has developed the G7 strategy. We say G7 to G24. It is a comprehensive and costed framework designed to guide our collective efforts in realizing the true potential of devolution in Kenya while amplifying the voices of women in leadership. Its primary goal is to ensure the successful re-election, smooth transition, and increased political participation and representation of women in decision making.
Tembea na nimeona mahospitali anajenga. I have seen very, very beautiful level 4 hospitals. Na ukweli ni kuwa hiyo design hata private hospitals hazina hiyo design. Kwa hivyo nikasema Machakos muko mbele sana. Thank you Governor Wavinya for expanding access to healthcare and especially for maternal and child health. Na nataka kurudishia serikali pongezi kwa sababu Linda Mama najua sasa imerudi na hata imewekewa bajeti, so it should be easier for us to take care of our mothers.
A section of members of parliament has backed the planned anti-government protest scheduled for next week. The lawmakers, led by Githunguri Member of Parliament Gathoni wa Mushomba and Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino, claim the government is yet to address critical issues raised by youthful protesters. The leaders say the government is yet to address the high cost of living, unemployment, as well as streamlining the public service. Posters going around on social media indicate the Gen Zs have planned for another fresh round of demonstrations next week to push for the dissolution of parliament.
Demonstrate that you have the interests of the youth of Kenya at heart before you revert to your default mode of stating in public things that you don't mean and you don't intend. Mr. President, walk the talk. Swing, don't sing. As a Christian, we say you do not do what you say in order to restore the vital trust that should exist between the people and their government. We want to remind you of the words of J.F. Kennedy, that those who make peaceful revolutions impossible make violent revolutions inevitable. Do not tempt the young people of Kenya too much. They have given you a break to reassess your priorities and get things right. They are shocked that you can't get anything right. And lastly, I want to say that should you fail to deliver to Kenyans, there's only one person that I know that will be easily defeated in 2027. Defeating you, Mr. Ruto, in 2027 will be easier than reciting vowels. Any living thing that is capable of locomoting or moving from one place to the other will defeat you in 2027. Even if you take a goat and dress the goat and put it on the ballot, will defeat you in 2027. Thank you and God bless you. Let me take this opportunity to give Mheshimiwa
Kitengela, Kenyatta National Hospital Mortuary, and Mulolongo, and Kiambu Uplands Funeral Home. Now, according to Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, these people died out of excesses of the Kenyan Police Service. The IPOA, the statutory body that is supposed to be oversighting the activities of the Kenya National Police Service, have indicated that they have picked up their own investigations. And according to them, they only have registered 50 people who died, not 61 that we have received from Kenya National Commission on Human Rights.
The Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi arrived in Siaya County for his Thanksgiving prayers after being appointed to the executive. The Thanksgiving was held at his Sijimbo home in Ugunja. Wandayi was appointed alongside Hassan Joho into the mining docket, Wycliffe Oparanya for cooperatives, and John Mbadi to the National Treasury.
The turning point. And we are saying in one accord, as members of this community, that never, and never again shall we find ourselves outside government. We want to say that as we start this journey of national unity, we are going to ensure that whatever development agenda that we have as a government is an agenda that we extend to every corner of this country. Without exception. Every corner of this country. Ya kwamba sisi wananchi wa Kenya tukiwa ndani ya serikali inayojumuisha Wakenya wote, inayojumuisha jamii zote chini ya uongozi ya Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto, tutahakikisha ya kwamba tukifanya maendeleo ni maendeleo ambayo itafika kila mahali. Na tunamshukuru Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto kwa kuchukua hatua ya kuunganisha Wakenya, akisaidiwa na Mheshimiwa kiongozi wetu Raila Amolo Odinga. Kwa hivyo sisi hatuwezi sahau ile jambo ya kihistoria ambayo imetendeka chini ya Mheshimiwa Ruto na Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga. Na sisi kama jamii ya eneo hili tukiendelea mbele tutazidi kuongozwa na Mheshimiwa Raila pamoja na Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto.
Now, Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, has said that the government will give more attention to the young people in its day-to-day operations, given that they constitute the majority of population in the country. Mudavadi said in the last few weeks, the youths, during their resurgence, had said they want to be able to be participants in governance of the country. Mudavadi said the government was keen on creating jobs for the young men and women internally, and at the same time was busy securing for them jobs out of the country to ensure that their energies are channeled appropriately.
The Oslo Foundation has been a strong partner in various governance programs for different entities, whether it is political parties, whether it is members of the civil society, other organizations. They have been very, very supportive in helping them sharpen their skills on various areas. And the area you were addressing yesterday, Your Excellency, is so important because in the last few weeks we have seen a resurgence of the youth energy. They want more involvement. They want to speak more. They want to be able to be participants in the governance of their country. So we need to give them special attention because they constitute 70% of our population. That is across the African continent. That we also have to communicate a lot of things because one of the things we discovered is that because of their energy, some don't know that there is a constitution. they think that you can change everything at a go, but there's also a constitution in the country, and there are processes. So we need to figure out how to manage their expectations, but also give them the hope that they require. So you are being available to talk to the youth, in my view, is very, very significant, and that is where the target should be going forward. How to really engage with them to make them feel that they are part and parcel of the governance of their country and their continent.
Now, President William Ruto on Friday hosted the Kenya National Music Festival state concert at the State Lodge in Eldoret City. The best of the 96th festival items got the honor of performing for the president and other dignitaries. The theme of the 2024 festival was talent development for growth of the creative economy. The music festival is an annual talent development initiative overseen by the Ministry of Education and regarded as the largest festival of its kind in East and Central Africa.
This sector has great opportunity for private sector. It shouldn't be that government should be the only partner that puts resources to this sector. Our dream is to reach a stage where it is the private sector that takes the lead in terms of supporting and financing this sector, because herein is opportunity for proper branding, for talent identification, Your Excellency, and an opportunity for the private sector to also brand themselves and make money through investing in this sector.
For the teams proceeding to the international stage, I have a message for you. Like I reminded our triumphant athletes who have just returned from the Olympics in Paris, you are both our best and the world's finest. There is nothing, and I repeat, there is nothing that is beyond you. So go ahead and make your country proud. Please, by all means, shine.
Now, news that missing Police Bullets FC midfielder Jen Hatto had been found safe and out of danger saw her family, teammates and the public calm down after anxiety had taken over. The under-20 Rising Starlets captain left her home on Wednesday night for the GSU headquarters in Thika Road, where players were to converge at 7:30 p.m. before heading to Police Sacco Stadium and then to the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport for their flight to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. However, she disappeared mysteriously with her phone silent, leaving her family and teammates with more questions than answers. Now, she was found in Juja, Kiambu County after preliminary investigations had pinned her exact location to be at the Gashororo Health Center in Juja. Good news indeed for the Jen Hatto to be found safe and alive, and we give thanks to God, and of course such a big relief for the football fraternity and the nation at large. So that good news actually brings us to the end of our broadcast tonight. But of course, Premier League is back. Manchester United take on Fulham at exactly 10 p.m. And so that is something that kicks us off for the 2024-2025 season. Let's see how this season takes us. And well, my regards to yours as well. Thank you for watching. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Blessed evening, blessed weekend ahead.